In 2011, Christchurch was hit by a series of earthquakes, causing widespread damage across the city. The cost has been estimated at $40 billion, and it's near impossible to quantify the disruption to people's lives and businesses. Because of this, we're rethinking pretty much everything. How we live, how we work, and how we build. Before 2009, structural steel was seldom used in CBD buildings. Those buildings are still standing, having survived. Steel simply outperformed all other materials in the Canterbury quakes. Today, structural steel accounts for almost 80% of the building work in the CBD. Christchurch is literally being rebuilt in steel.
What we saw post-earthquake is a lot of demolition and deconstruction as a result of using concrete technology. The steel solutions proved more resilient and perhaps more flexible in their behaviour to earthquake.
Immediately after the quake, there was a real swing away from concrete structures. There was a lot of damage occurring in joints, etc. We wanted something that gave us the resilience to be able to get occupants back into the building really swiftly should there be another reasonable event.
So 151 Cambridge Terrace is a unique project. We have a very motivated and engaged client, somebody that's really passionate about doing the right thing for Christchurch. Our client had an awful experience where one of his buildings didn't perform and people were hurt. And he looked at that as an outcome and said, I don't want to be involved in the building industry if we can't do better than that. So structural steel played a really key role in achieving the resilient vision of our client.
We have thought a little bit harder about how buildings perform in earthquakes. We are focusing a lot more on the repairability, and buckling restrained brace frames, for example, are favoured at the moment because following a large event, it's a reasonably straightforward task to take out the brace and replace it with a new one.
It was only when the tenant came on board, PwC, they said that they wanted to have an importance level 3 building, 130% of the code. So then we started to introduce some of the innovative technologies such as BRBs so that we could push the design a bit further.
We were able to minimise the amount of braces through the whole structure. It was more slender than what we believed we could get for concrete at that time, and it was really the speed that the whole thing could be erected. Those were strong drivers. This is a commercial development, and obviously in Christchurch we need to see these buildings going up as swiftly as they can, and steel gave that advantage.
Before the quake it was all in concrete, and we loved concrete, and it was good meaty stuff and you could pour concrete and there was always things happening. Steel just seems to go up a lot quicker. You can draw it, when you turn up on site and you want to use it, it goes up fast. It's speed.
Steel's definitely got to be up the top of the list when you're choosing your main structural frame. It's lighter, we can do a lot more of it off-site so that when we come to site, the speed of erection is a lot quicker. And also the accuracy is another thing that I like about steel. We've got massive steel columns and plates. The accuracy is within a millimetre. You can't get that with other construction mediums.
We can approach other fabricators around New Zealand and tap into capacity. So the ability to bring in structural steel components from around New Zealand into the Christchurch rebuild has aided in getting some of these larger projects up and running quicker.
Overall, the New Zealand construction industry is learning a lot from the Christchurch rebuild and its use of structural steel solutions. Now we are seeing its uptake grow in other parts of the country.
Structural steel was chosen for this particular project because the client expressed the interest for operational continuity post a seismic event. The day after an earthquake, they wanted to get their users back into the building straight away. Therefore, we've used BRBs or buckling restrained braces.
Structural steel for us, done the right way, it can be bloody fast. So working with local fabricators, putting it up quickly is a key thing for us.
Explore the benefits of using a steel solution for your next project. It's resilient, it's safe, it's efficient, and it offers considerable design possibilities.
I think Christchurch is fairly innovative now, and what products they're using in steel seems to come to the forefront in all the buildings we use here now. So it's a hard lesson we learned from earthquakes.